Hello and welcome to PRTV. Ethical practice is enshrined in the PRIA's Code of Ethics, to which all members must adhere. In this edition, we talk to our experts about ethical practice in public relations. What exactly do we mean by ethics, and what exactly is involved?
Most of us believe public relations predominantly is conducted ethically. The fact remains, though, that it's not always done ethically. It's not a regulated industry. It's a free, open industry where anyone can hang up a shingle and say they're a public relations person. We also can't forget the fact that public relations did actually grow historically out of propaganda, sort of World War I, World War II, Nazi Germany, promoting cigarette smoking. It does have a reputational issue to live down, and I think it's going to take many more decades of effort and strenuous activity by ethical practitioners to, if you like, live down the past.
I think every individual public relations and communication practitioner has a sort of a personal responsibility to satisfy themselves. They really have full information about whatever they're representing, be it the client, the business, the product, the service, the situation, because it's very easy to mislead the public or the media if you don't have that full information. So for me, part of being able to be really ethical as a communicator is fully understanding the content that I'm dealing with and satisfying myself that I'm representing someone who is in fact a worthy cause.
There's a lot of confusion between morality, ethics, things like corporate responsibility, and in very simple terms they are quite different things, although they're closely interrelated. Morality, morals are our personal beliefs. Ethics are shared community standards that we agree to. Corporate responsibility is a way of behaving, drawing on ethics. And of course, issues like trust and reputation, they are the outcome. You have trust or a good reputation if you act ethically and you act responsibly.
I would have to say, working in the healthcare space, I work with not only colleagues but also clients who are some of the most ethical and morally sort of founded or grounded people that I've ever met. And maybe that is born from the fact that the messages that we are generally communicating can be life and death issues for the people who we are targeting. So if we are launching a new medication or we are talking about a particular disease state and people are making life-altering decisions based on the information that we are putting out there, then it's really important that we don't oversell, that we don't try to manufacture hope.
Ethical issues can be quite difficult of do you tell all of the information, or is sometimes managing the information, is that more ethical? But it depends a lot on whether you're talking about a duty approach, which is one approach that you always tell the truth no matter what, or are you looking at the outcome, the end result, which is a different ethical approach. So most people argue that there needs to be a lot more education into the complexities of ethics, because it's not just as simple as saying tell the truth.
I think in the not-for-profit sector, trust is paramount. For an organisation that relies primarily or even solely on funds donated by supporters, the need to be good stewards and have an ethic of stewardship and be highly transparent with how you use that money is vital. So if, for whatever reason, that trust is undermined, your reputation is damaged, either intentionally or through just a perception management issue, that has the potential to really undermine a great deal of trust that's been built up with your supporter base, and that's very hard to reclaim.
Fundamental in ethics is telling the truth, honesty, transparency. In a business environment where a communication person may be instructed to issue certain information that they may or may not believe.
Or indeed withhold information selectively.
Instruct to withhold, to issue information, and there comes an issue there that they have a duty, an ethical duty, to obey instructions from superiors. They also have an ethical duty to tell the truth. So you can actually have collisions of ethical responsibilities, and that's when it gets quite sticky. And generally the recommendation is that anyone acting in responsible positions probably should get ethical training, which organisations do provide.
If you give the profession a score out of 10 for ethical conduct, how well would they do?
Look, it's in most cases the Pareto principle 80-20 rule applies. You've got, in the case of ethics, I think 80% of the public relations field operates ethically, but there's always going to be the 20% that don't, unfortunately. That's probably the same in the finance sector, where we all know the tragedy of the global meltdown, and clearly there's been a breakdown in ethics and behaviour, but that doesn't mean that all of the companies were unethical.
What are the consequences? What are the risks that people take if they step outside the profession's ethical framework?
Well, ethics needs to be understood as it's different to personal morals. We have our morals. Ethics are societally shared standards, so they're shared across the society. The risks, therefore, are if you don't act ethically, you will then at some point risk facing censure by that society, by your customers, by the community. And of course, in today's marketplace, we know that organisations need to maintain public support, they need government support, they need their customers to be loyal. So the danger of, if you step outside of societally adopted standards, which, for example, some financial organisations have clearly done in the 2008-2009, you run the risk of great community anger, and that can lead to lost business, even lost organisations.
And if you have any suggestions for PRTV, email producer@reputationtv.com. And a reminder also to PRIA members, log on to the website for the latest edition of the newsletter. It's available now. Well, how do we measure PR success? Our experts wrestle with this ancient problem that has always foiled the PR profession. The measure of success. That's our next edition in July. Thanks for your time on PRTV. We'll see you next time.